Hello everybody, welcome to juriscentral.com online classes for law exams. So today I will be discussing with you the recently held questions of Rajasthan judiciary exam. So in this session I would be discussing with you a total number of 100 questions, and before going into the questions, let me give you a small the scheme of the examination. First of all, there were a total number of 100 questions and the total time allotted was 2 hours, and the best part about this exam is there were no negative marking, and as you can see here, all questions carry equal marks. So let us see the questions, and in this session I would also be telling you the possible objections, as all of you know that the answer key of this examination has already been released. So now I would be telling you what are the wrong questions. So let us start. So first I'll start with question number 1. Under the provisions of the Specific Relief Act 1963, when a part of a contract which taken by itself can and ought to be specifically performed stands on a separate and independent footing from another part of the same contract which cannot or ought not to be specifically performed, then in that case, option number 3, the court may direct the specific performance of the former part. Question number 2, under the Transfer of Property Act 1882, attached to the earth doesn't mean growing crops. Under section 2 of Transfer of Property Act, growing crops is not considered under immovable property, and also it is not considered as attached to the earth. Question number 3, under the Indian Contract Act, a contract to perform the promise or discharge the liability of a third person in case of his default is a contract of guarantee, option number 1. Question number 4, which of the following statement with reference to section 3 of the Indian Evidence Act 1872 is not correct? This is option number 3, a caricature is not a document. Question number 5, if for a period of option number 3 it is 60 days, a member of a house of the legislature of a state without permission of the house is absent from all meetings thereof, the house may declare his seat vacant. Question number 6, under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908, which of the following is not a supplemental proceedings? Is option number 4, granting of a permanent injunction is given under section 94 of CPC. Question number 7, under the CPC, in one situation, the contract of engagement of a lawyer by the party to suit will be deemed to continue even after the death of that party. Which is that situation? This is option number 1, till the pleader inform the court about death of party. Question number 8, for the purpose of hearing any reference under Article 143 of the Constitution of India, the minimum number of judges of Supreme Court who are to sit for the purpose shall be option number 2, 5 years. Question number 9. Now this is a wrong question. I'll tell you why. In which of the following case presumption of contract to the contrary under section 230 of the Indian Contract Act shall not be presumed? The statements which are given in the options are not correct, because it is applicable if the question was like shall be presumed, but the question is shall not be presumed. Under section 230 it is given that the presumption of contract to the contrary shall be presumed in all of the above cases. That means where the contract is made by an agent for the sale or purchase of goods for a merchant resident abroad, where the principal doesn't disclose the name of his agent, where the principal though disclosed cannot be sued. So these are reasonable. I'll tell you that the question itself is wrong. Question number 10, an advertisement in a newspaper inviting tenders is option number 4, invitation for proposal. Question number 11, what is meant by statutory interpretation? It is option number 3, the interpretation of a statute by the courts. Question number 12, under the Specific Relief Act 1963, any person having the possession or control of a particular article of movable property of which he is not the owner may not be compelled to specifically to deliver it to the person entitled to its immediate possession in which of the following cases? This is option number 1, when the thing claimed is not held by the defendant as the agent or trustee of the plaintiff. Question number 13, under the provisions of the Rajasthan Rent Control Act 2001, which of the following is not a requisite regarding inspection of a rented premise? This is option number 4, such inspection shall be carried out only in the presence of a tenant. So this is not one of the requisite under Rajasthan Rent Control Act. Question number 14. Any suit filed under the provisions of the Specific Relief Act 1963 shall be disposed of by the court within a period of this option number 3, 12 months from the date of service of summons to the defendant. Question number 15. To enforce a right of preemption, period of limitation is option number 4, 1 year. Question number 16. Ut res magis valeat quam period is also known as option number 2, rule of reasonable construction. Question number 17. Under the CPC, in which of the following cases sign doesn't include stamp? So this is all in the case of judgment as well as in the case of decree. Question number 18. Which of the following statement regarding chapter 8 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882 relating to of transfers of actionable claims is incorrect? This is option number 1. This chapter applies to instruments which are for the time being by law or custom negotiable. This is incorrect because this chapter is not applicable to instruments which are for the time being by law or custom or negotiable. Question number 19. The writ jurisdiction of High Court is wider than writ jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Examine the correct answer. Option number 1. Yes, Article 226 can be invoked to establish fundamental rights and any other right. Question number 20. Under section 15 of the Limitation Act 1963, exclusion of time is not applicable to option number 2, appeals. Question number 21. According to this option number 3, nociter a sources of interpretation, the meaning of which of a word is to be judged by the company it keeps. Question number 22. Under Rajasthan Rent Control Act 2001, an application under section 23 shall be disposed of by rent authority within 60 days from the date of presentation of the application. Question number 23. Under the CPC, which of the following statement is not correct? This is option number 1. Decree includes the rejection of plaint. Question number 24. The repealment of the Rajasthan Premises Control of Rent and Eviction Act 1950, Act of 1950 by section 32 clause 1 of the Rajasthan Rent Control Act affected which of the following? This is option number 4. It actually affected none of the above. Question number 25. On application under section 22E of the Rajasthan Rent Control Act 2001, court fee shall be payable. Option number 2, rupees 100. Question number 26. Which of the following statement with reference to Indian Evidence Act 1872 is not correct? This is option number 3. Counterparts of a document as against the parties who execute them comes under secondary evidence. No, because counterparts of a document actually comes under the primary evidence. Question number 27. Under which section it is provided that in all civil proceedings, the husband or wife of any party to the suit shall be a competent witness? This is option number 1, section 120 of Indian Evidence Act. Question number 28. Pending proceedings in a representative suit, the dispute is settled between plaintiff and defendants. They jointly filed an application to record settlement which was allowed. Suit was decreed in terms of the settlement. Is there any procedural irregularity? This is option number 4. Yes. Court cannot grant permission without following due procedure, being a representative suit. Question number 29. Which of the following statements regarding gift under the Transfer of Property Act 1882 is correct? This is option number 3. If the donee dies before acceptance, the gift is void. Question number 30. Under the Constitution of India, provision to disqualification on ground of defection is made. This is option number 2 in 10th of schedule. Question number 31. Section 87 of the Indian Evidence Act 1872 provides option number 2, presumption as to books, maps and charts. Question number 32. Which of the following is not defined under section 2 of the Limitation Act 1963? This is option number 3, check. Check is not defined under section 2 of the Limitation Act. 33. Under the Indian Contract Act 1872, requisite for a valid ratification is option number 1, knowledge of the correct facts of the case. Question number 34. Under the Limitation Act 1963, which of the following is not a correct definition? This is option number 1. Tort means a civil wrong which is exclusively the breach of a contract or breach of a trust. 35. The concept of free legal aids takes its root from which article of the Constitution of India? This is option number 4, Article 39A. Question number 36. Order made under section 144 of the CRPC shall not remain in force for more than 2 months from the making thereof. Question number 37. Under section 32 of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012, a person shall be eligible to be appointed as a special public prosecutor only if he had been, option number 3, in practice for not less than 7 years as an advocate. Question number 38. Under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, Which of the following statement regarding protection officer is correct? This is option number 2. Penalty is prescribed for not discharging duty by protection officer. Question number 39. Under the provision of section 105A of the CRPC, identifying includes, so it includes, that means what does it mean? Establishment of a proof that the property was derived from the commission of an offence. Option number 2, 40. While releasing the offenders after the admonition under the Probation of Offenders Act 1958, which of the following fact need not be taken into consideration by the court? This is option number 1. Number of previously registered cases against the accused. Question number 41. With reference to section 90 of Indian Penal Code, consent of child means option number 4. The consent given by person who is under 12 years of age. Question number 42. Under the IPC, which of the following is not a punishable offence? This is option number 1. Making preparation to commit murder. Question number 43. A prosecutes B for adultery with C, A's wife. B denies that C is A's wife, but the court convicts B of adultery. Afterwards, C is prosecuted for bigamy in marrying B during A's lifetime. C says that she never was A's wife. The judgment against B, option number 1, is irrelevant against C. And let me tell you, this question has been repeated so many times previously in many entrance examinations. Question number 44. Under the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015, who may not be designated as a child welfare officer? This is option number 1, head constable. Question number 45. Under the provisions of the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, under which of the following statements regarding protection order is wrong? This is option number 3. Breach of protection order is a non-cognizable offence. 46. Under section 17 of the Probation of Offenders Act 1958, rules can be framed by option number 4, state government with the approval of central government. 47. Z's will contains these words: I direct that all my remaining property be equally divided between A, B and C. A dishonestly scratches out B's name, intending that it may be believed that whole was left to himself and C. What offence A has committed under IPC? This option number 2, forgery. 48. Evidence in the proceedings of 125 of the CRPC shall be recorded in the manner. This is option number 1, prescribed for summons cases. 49. The Indecent Representation of Women Prohibition Act 1986 is published in the Gazette of India on option number 3, 25th of September 1987. 50. For the purposes of section 141 of the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881, company doesn't mean option number 3, group of individuals. Question number 51. Where an offence under the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Act 2015 is punishable with imprisonment for not less than 3 years, then such offence shall be, this is option number 3, non-cognizable, bailable and triable by any magistrate. Question number 52. Offence under section 232 of the IPC is actually option number 1, cognizable, non-bailable and triable by the Court of Sessions. 53. Provisions of sections 3 to 13 of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2002 shall not apply in case of medical examination or medical treatment of a child when option number 3, such medical examination or medical treatment is undertaken with the consent of his parents. Question number 54. Under the CRPC, security for good behavior from the persons disseminating seditious matter can be demanded by this option number 4, executive magistrate. 55. Which of the following statement in respect of section 320 of the CRPC is not correct? This option number 1. The composition of an offence before charge shall have the effect of discharge of the accused. Question number 56. How many fundamental principles are provided in section 3 of the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2015? This is option number 3, 60. Question number 57. Under IPC, when the imprisonment awarded for solitary confinement shall exceed 3 months, the solitary confinement shall not exceed, this is option number 1, 7 days in any 1 month of the whole imprisonment awarded. 58. For the purpose of section 23 of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012, which among the following is not correct? This is option number 3, on contravention of the provision of subsection 1 or subsection 2 of section 23. The accused shall be liable to be punished with imprisonment of either discretion for a period which shall not be less than 1 year, but it should be which shall not be less than 6 months, but which may extend to not 2 years but 1 year, or with 5 or with both. Question number 59. Which statement of with reference to section 101 of the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Act is wrong. This is option number 2. A second appeal shall lie from any order of the Court of Sessions passed in appeal under section 101 clause 2 before the High Court. Question number 60. For the purpose of section 363 of the IPC, minor means option number 3, a female under 18 years of age. Question number 61. Under section 13 of the IPC, definition of queen was repealed by this option number 2, Adoption Order 1950. Question number 62. Under the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013 in the Constitution of Internal Complaints Committee, at least this is option number 3, 1/2 of the total members so nominated shall be women. Question number 63. A soldier fires on a mob by the order of a superior officer in conformity with the commands of the law. Work done by A comes under which general exception of IPC? This is option number 1. Act done by a person believing himself bound by law. Question number 64. Which provision of the CRPC deals with the identification of persons arrested? This is option number 3, section 54A. Question number 65. Under section 65 of the IPC, the term for which the court directs the offender to be imprisonment in default of payment of a fine shall, this option number 1, not exceed 1/4 of the term of imprisonment, which is a maximum fixed for the offence. Question number 66. Under section 41 of the CRPC, whom among the following police cannot arrest without warrant? This is option number 1. Who commits in presence of a police officer a non-cognizable offence. 67. Sections 143 to 147 of the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881 came into force on this option number 2, 6th of February 2003. Question number 68. Being in possession of false weight or measure is a punishable offence under section 266 of the IPC, option number 3. 69. A is tried for the murder of B by intentionally shooting him dead in trial. The irrelevant fact is option number 1. A was in the habit of shooting at people with intent to murder them. Question number 70. The judgment passed by the Honorable Supreme Court in Hardeep Singh vs. State of Punjab deals with option number 4, section 319 of the CRPC. I hope you understand what is section 319 of CRPC. Is actually deals with the procedure of the prosecuting of the persons although not named in the FIR. Question number 71. So now I will be dealing with you the questions relating to Hindi language. So there were 10 questions from Hindi language and another 10 questions from English language, and the rest of the 80 questions were from law subjects. And if I say about the entire paper structure, then I would say like the questions were from moderate to high level, because there were many questions which I found them intriguing, and also the subjects were very much vast. Like there are other subjects like Negotiable Instruments Act or Juvenile Justice Act or POCSO, and the other common subjects. So I'd say the subject is actually vast and the questions were from moderate to high level. So let us see the questions of Hindi language. निम्न वाक्य की पूर्ति स्थानवाचक क्रिया विशेषण से कीजिए. मैं, दिस इज ऑप्शन नंबर 3, दिल्ली चला गया था. देन क्वेश्चन नंबर 72. अपना अपना सामान उठाओ और चलते बढ़ो. वाक्य में सर्वनाम है, सर्वनाम इज प्रोनाउन. दिस इज ऑप्शन नंबर 1, अपना अपना. क्वेश्चन नंबर 73. अध्यादेश शब्द में उपसर्ग क्या है? दैट मीन्स प्रेफिक्स. सो दिस इज ऑप्शन नंबर 2, अधि. 74. निषेध शब्द का संधि विच्छेद है. ऑप्शन नंबर 2, नी प्लस सेद. क्वेश्चन नंबर 75. शुद्ध वाक्य बताइए. दिस ऑप्शन नंबर 4, सीता की आंखों से आंसू बह रहे हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 76. कान में फूंक मारना मुहावरे का अर्थ है. दिस ऑप्शन नंबर 1, प्रभावित करना. क्वेश्चन नंबर 77. अकारण शब्द का विलोमार्थी शब्द है. ऑप्शन नंबर 2, सकारण. क्वेश्चन नंबर 78. निम्न में से अशुद्ध वाक्य है. दिस ऑप्शन नंबर 3, वो अनेकों भाषाएं जानता है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 79. निम्न में से कर्मवाच्य का उदाहरण है. ऑप्शन नंबर 1, रोगी को दवा दे दी गई है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 80, निम्न में से सही एक वचन व बहुवचन का मेल बताइए। दिस ऑप्शन नंबर 2, गुड़िया गुड़िया। 81, अनुप्रास अलंकार का कौन सा उदाहरण है। दिस ऑप्शन नंबर 1, निधिया न्यारी। 82, निम्न में से बहुवचन शब्द है। ऑप्शन नंबर 4, आंसू। 83, ढक्कन शब्द में प्रत्यय है। दिस ऑप्शन नंबर 1, अन। 84, अक्ल का पुतला मुहावरे का अर्थ है। ऑप्शन नंबर 2, बुद्धिमान। क्वेश्चन नंबर 85, निम्न में से शब्द वो उसके संधि विच्छेद का सही मेल बताइए। गंगोदक। दिस गंगा प्लस उदक। So now there will be questions from English language. Fill in the blanks with appropriate answer. India will become a superpower shortly. Option number 1, 87. Choose the word which is opposite in meaning to the word extraneous. Is option number 3, relevant. Question number 88. Choose the correct synonym of the word lethargy. It means option number 3, listlessness. 89. Choose correctly spelled word. This option number 2, monotonous. 90. Fill in the blanks with appropriate phrasal verb. Before finally launching of the missile, many experiments were option number 2 carried out. 91. Choose the correct active passive voice which best expresses the following sentence. Help the needy. So in the passive voice will be let the needy be helped. 92. Fill in the blanks with appropriate phrasal verb. He will go to Mumbai and put up in a hotel. Option number 3. 93. Choose the correct active passive voice which best expresses the following sentence. Scientists successfully conducted a water detection test on Mars. So the passive voice will be a water detection test on Mars was conducted successfully by scientists. Question number 94. Fill in the blank with appropriate article. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw dash, that here and will come, an elephant crossing the road in front of my school yesterday. 95. Choose the correct synonym of the word verbose. So the synonym is option number 1, talkative. 96. Fill in the blank with appropriate option. The chief guest with his wife. Option number 1, has left. Question number 97. Choose the correct indirect direct speech which best expresses the following sentence. He said, I was writing an application to the mayor about pathetic condition of road. So the indirect speech would be, he said that he had been writing an application to the mayor about the pathetic condition of road. 98. Choose the correct indirect direct speech which best expresses the following sentence. Mother told her son, why are you leaving the house early today? So it will be, mother asked her son why he was leaving the house early that day. This will be the the direct speech. Then indirect. Question number 99. Choose the word which is opposite in meaning to the word congenial. This is option number 4, unpleasant. 100. Choose the correct sentence. This is option number 2. When I woke up, he had already eaten breakfast. So with this question, now we have come to the end of this session. And actually we have already coming to the end, and we are actually ending the session right now. तो मैंने आप लोगों के साथ आज टोटल 100 क्वेश्चंस डिस्कस किए हैं, जिसमें मैंने आपको बता दिया कि लेवल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस क्या थे। लेवल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आपकी अगर मैं ओवरऑल बताऊं तो क्वेश्चन पेपर इजी नहीं था। जुडिशरी में तो ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते ही हैं, काफ़ी न्यू क्वेश्चंस आए हैं और उसके साथ काफ़ी इंट्रीगिंग क्वेश्चंस भी है। सो आई होप यू ऑल हैव रिटन वेल। So in case of any doubt, you can share the same in the comment section below. So with this note, I am signing off today. So I will be meeting you in a new session with a new topic. So till now, goodbye and have a nice day.